Hello, my name is Curtis Chen. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Foster City, known as far away as Florence, Italy. Welcome back, JP. As a club that cooks. And Charlie, are you back there somewhere? Okay, please lead us in the pledge.
Everybody take a knee. Charlie. This is great, ain't it? Place your right hand over your heart and say along with me.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Dave DeSchmidt, please provide the thought for the day.
Well, I have a couple of them. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. And the next one is life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you react to it.
Thank you, Dave. Please be seated. Just a quick announcement, the restrooms out in the main area, the hotel told me they were out of order. So if you need the restroom, there's some along kind of that side of the building toward the restaurant. The Zoomers, just please stay on mute until we call on you and use the chat function if you have any issues. And at this time, I'd like to see if there's any visiting Rotarians here. No visiting Rotarians. And any guests besides the people we're going to present things to? Jeff Brown?
I'd like to announce Josette Salem. She'll say a word. She's a potential member of the club. She's been a very, very wonderful rose pruner for 2 years, and I've been listening to myself and other Rotarians. So,
Welcome, Josette. Patricia Nutty, you have a guest? Wait for the mic to come over.
I would like to introduce Rich Halfang, guest of the club. We met on the path walking our little dog. This little dog is Brentwood minus Chloe. Well,
Okay, well, welcome, Rich.
being new to the area, I'd like to get involved in community.
I moved up to Los Angeles.
Oh,
I have a potential new member also with her, Sharmila Bhavsar, my friend. I have known her for many years and she was looking for an opportunity, she and her son, to volunteer. So welcome, Sharmila. Hello, everybody. I'm Sharmila and this is my silver jubilee year at Foster City. So good to be a good start on the Rotary. And I definitely would like to do something for Foster City and home. Thank you so much.
welcome. Okay, over to Rich Mozzini.
Hi, I'd like to introduce my lovely wife of 54 years, Gail.
Welcome, Gail. Okay, as usual, oh, you one more guest here, Gary,
My lovely wife,
in the mic, please.
this is my wonderful, lovely wife, Violet. We've been married more than 4
Welcome, Violet. As usual, if you have one of these cell phones, please turn the ringer on, because if your ringer goes off, everybody will stand up and point at you, and you are now eligible to give a donation to our foundation of $50. So please keep those ringers on. We need to raise some money. All right. Yeah, credit cards are good. Some birthdays to celebrate. Ollie Padham, June 21st. Patricia Flair Maxwell, June 22nd. And then an anniversary on June 20th of 35 years, Bob and Nancy Mike. Congratulations, Bob. And a few Rotary anniversaries. These are all on July 1st. Jim Hardy, 28 years. Greg Cool, 43 years. Phil Romilly, 41 years. And Ollie Padham, 43 years. So congratulations, everybody. Stephanie, do we have a sunshine report? No sunshine report. That's good news. All right, let's move on to good news. Oh, there is a sunshine report? Yeah, Steve Okamoto tested positive for COVID, I think on Monday. He had a few symptoms, but I think he's doing well. He's actually on the Zoom. So, okay, any good news?
Still sunshine.
Okay.
Dickie is resting comfortably. He had a complete shoulder reconstruction and replacement about 4 weeks ago, and he's doing really well. I spent some time with him over the weekend, but he doesn't get out much. So give him a card or a call. He sure appreciates it. And he is totally immobile on that one side right now. In the sling and stuff like that. He's doing well.
Okay, thanks for the update, Larry. Okay. Betty?
Hopefully you can hear me. Next Friday, my mom will be buried at Arlington Cemetery. I'm joining my dad, passed away 15 years ago. So it's gonna be a beautiful ceremony with the Coast Guard. 17 people in my family will be there. It's gonna be a wonderful day because my mom was 98.
Wow. Hey, best wishes to you, Betty. Okay, any other sunshine report? Okay, good news. I only know Ollie has some good news. I'm trying to get JP some exercise here.
Thank you. Rick and I did a community service for the Association of Black Homeowners the other day for the Juneteenth festival. We cooked, and they bought all the food and we did the cooking. And they've made a donation to our club for $100. So I got $100 here for it. It's a good use.
Thank you, Ollie. Any other good news to share? Seeing none. I'd like to turn the floor over to Deborah Wilder, who is zooming in, I think, from Grass Valley.
Right. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you. I want to thank you for the opportunity to do this. I've been a Rotary member for more than 20 years, and many of you may have seen the email that Curtis sent out this week. You know, the time has finally come for me to join a Rotary Club up here. We moved to Foster City in 1982 with 2 kids. I now have 3 kids, and the youngest is on his way to being 39. But I want to tell you how much I have enjoyed my association with all of you. Ollie has always made me feel welcome to the club from the first minute I walked in that door. Sorry. Greg Cool introduced me to the wonders of hosting international exchange students, and that has been a huge benefit in my life. John and Linda Grant have been wonderful for all of their good work with the wheelchair project and their dedication to Rotary. And honestly, I could probably take the entire meeting to thank each and every one of you for the comradeship and what I have learned from all of you. This morning, I joined the Rotary Club of Grass Valley, the 49er Breakfast Club. And so I hope that I will be welcomed back as a visiting Rotarian to this club. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of you for allowing me to grow and serve alongside you. My thought was, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. And I'm smiling for the more than 20 years of association with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. And, you know, Deborah did such a great job at community service this year too, being on the board. And your doors are open for visits, right? In Grass Valley. So we will come visit you.
And I have a super big house, twice as big as my house in Foster City with lots of extra bedroom space. So you're all welcome to come visit.
Okay, Debbie Williams just wanted me to announce that our club picnic will be on July 15th at 5 p.m. Just save that date and details will be forthcoming. So July 15th is the first summer concerts day on Friday, and it'll be up on the hill, right, in Leo Ryan Park. And then also, if you have any reimbursements, please get them to her by today. We're trying to close out the fiscal year. I just wanted to mention something about the debunking last Friday. It was enjoyable for the people that were there. A special thank you to those that welcomed my son, who was there. I was a little worried he would be kind of off in a corner and bored the whole time, but he had the blast, actually. He said he had a really good time. Let's not bring that up. All right. So thank you for welcoming him. And we did have something to show for those of you that didn't make it there. Where is it? Oh, it's over there. This was actually presented at the district conference, but we thought we would, and then we showed it at the debunking, but some of you weren't able to attend. This is our flag for the district awarding us the Best Club Award for 2021-22. Thanks everyone for your help on that. We still have a streak going, right?
Yes, we have a streak going.
20-something years. All right, Cindy, I'm going to turn it over to Cindy for some announcements.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Cindy.
So this is last call. 4th of July pancake breakfast is Monday. And it's going to be great because we're going to be back to our more regular pancake breakfast experience with one exception. We are not going to be able, we thought we were going to be able to serve mimosas, but we're not. And the reason we're not is that the ABC Liquor Board has changed the requirements for groups to sell alcohol. And now people have to be trained. There's an online training on the ABC Liquor website that we have to take in order to sell. And so we will be able to take that training in time for summer concerts. But I just didn't think we could count on making sure that everybody that wanted to sell drinks, that wanted to sell mimosas could get that training done in time. And so more to come on that training, and the training is good for 3 years. So once you take it, we'll be good for 3 years, but you got to take it and you'll get a little certificate. So I'll fill you in on that. The summer concerts are coming up. And so at our next meeting on July 6th, we'll be doing signups for that, and I'll have more information for you. But today is just to tell you about pancake breakfast. Phyllis Harrison has got the sign up sheet. She's going to go around to each person and give you a chance to sign up if you have not signed up yet, because we have a few spots open. So, but we're looking good, but we still need more help. If you are going to be there, we have parking passes from the city. You park at the Wells Fargo parking lot. And then you just put this in your windshield, but you have to have this if you're going to park for free at Wells Fargo. So as you sign up, we will give you a free parking pass. It'll be good for all day. So thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. And this kicks off Shiraz's year, so let's have a good showing. All right, Patricia Player Maxwell and Diana Schroeder, we had a very successful event on Friday, the Healthy Aging Education Day. You want to just recap that? 1 or 2 minutes? And then
we're utterly exhausted. However, would all of you who helped that day please stand? Without you, we could not have done this. Thank you so much for being there. The day was extremely well done. Thank God. We had awesome speakers, one of which brought them almost everybody to tears. And everything seemed to pull together really rather well. We've learned a few things. We've looked at the surveys that we put out. You know, we can't please everybody, but we do our best. But mostly it was good things. Yes, yes. And absolutely. I want to thank Diane yet again, because without her, we would never have done this. She was my admin assistant, if you like, and did all the running around and all of the emails, and at least I spoke to her about 3 times a day or more, but we got it and we pulled it off and it was great. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.
stay up here for a second. And I think it's a fundraiser and a community service event. So providing education to the public about Parkinson's disease was the topic this year. And I think the club raised somewhere, the numbers are not final, but it's somewhere around $30,000. So very good event. All right, I'm gonna have Diana just remind everybody about the baseball event.
Yes. As of yesterday for the San Jose Giants, the fun and fundraiser event, we've sold 11 seats. So please, everybody's got the email. I resent it out the other day, just reminding everybody. It's going to be Thursday at 6:30. And we will be doing first pitch and field games. So this should be a fun event. So please spread the word. Thanks, guys.
And then we'll do blue batch, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night at the San Jose Giants. It's a single-A baseball team. And is Jill Archer here? Yay, Jill, come on up. So as a reminder to some of the newer members, when a member joins our club, we give them a red badge, and then we ask them to do kind of a self-orientation to familiarize themselves with Rotary. And so part of the requirements are to gather 12 business cards from various members, also to join a committee, visit another Rotary club in the area, and attend a board meeting, and also give a vocational talk, which is a talk about 3 or 4 minutes about themselves and their profession. So Jill, you have completed those.
Yay.
And so I hope you're self-oriented now.
I am.
And so let's present, I'm gonna have Diana present you with the 4-way test.
Okay,
Plaque.
this is for you. It's the 4-way test. First, it is the truth. Second, it is fair to all concerned. Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And there is a fifth, have fun.
Oh, thank you.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
And
I was
The
wondering.
blue badge.
If I was gonna graduate.
It is the sort of graduation.
it is a sort of, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you do this,
Okay,
Jill,
I'll do that.
because I need to get the other one for you. I will.
Okay, how's this one? We'll replace that one with this one.
Yes, we will. Hi, everyone. There we go. Open this one.
Oh, that one will.
Okay,
We'll just give it
okay, yeah, this is the other one for you, sweetie. Thank you
Okay.
and welcome.
Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome.
Thanks to everyone for helping me out to get my blue badge. So thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
and we look forward to you to continue being an active member. Okay, I have a special award to present. It's the Avenue of Service Award. And this is, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. We actually announced this at the debunking. About 24 years ago, Rotary International introduced a new recognition award program to recognize an individual Rotarian that excelled in all 4 avenues of service. There's now a 5th, which is New Generations. The avenues of service are club service. The focus is on building strong, thriving clubs through club operations. Vocational service encourages members to serve other people through their vocations, education, skill sets, which encourages high ethical standards. International service promotes peace and understanding throughout the world through international projects, partnerships, and volunteer service. Community service, the cornerstone of Rotary. Community service encourages projects and activities to improve the quality of life for people in our community. And New Generation service engages youth and young adults to empower them through leadership development. So the Avenue of Service Award is only given to 1 Rotarian per club each year. The Rotary Club of Foster City has recognized 20 Rotarians with this honor. Before I present the 2021-22 Avenue of Service Award to this year's recipient, I'd like to ask all previous honorees to please stand so we can acknowledge them. These individuals are hard workers who support our club and in no small part are contributors to our best club banners 22-time Best Club Award. So I'd like to present this to Rich Mozzini. So let me say a little bit about Rich. So Rich joined the club in 2002 and has maintained 100% attendance for the last 3 years. He has served in numerous volunteer activities and committees and chaired several. He's a Paul Harris Fellow, multiple Paul Harris donor, and major donor. During his time as vocational director, Rich launched the Club Rotarian of the Month program, in which we honor one of our own. In vocational service, Rich is a former and current vocational service chair on the board. His enthusiasm for Employee of the Month and Student of the Month programs has been a great contribution to the club. For many years, Rich chaired the dictionary project, in which we give dictionaries to every 3rd grade student in Foster City. And as part of this, Rich led a labeling party that is brother-in-law's business, right?
Yep.
Yep. And yeah.
Bayside
Bayside building. Yep. In community service, Rich is a former community service chair, and he led One Warm Coat for many years and was responsible for setting new records every year for receiving basically coat donations. And he was also active in Concerts in the Park, Spaghetti Feed, and the Shoe Drive. And if you remember in the Shoe Drive, he was able to procure a mother load donation from a lady that was closing a shoe shop. So
from her garage.
Yeah. In international service, Rich has been very involved with club international service projects. He traveled with the club to Mazatlan to deliver wheelchairs and participate in our South Africa trip. And in the fall, he will be traveling to Inagi City, Japan to help develop our sister city and twin club relationship. Wow. And in youth services, we all know that he's been very involved with the scholarship program. He's led that for many years. He's the liaison to the San Mateo, Hillsdale, and Aragon High Schools, as well as the San Mateo Adult School. And he's helped launch 2 new scholarship programs. One is, you heard about the AVID. Everybody stand up and point to the phone. No, okay. Was that John Grant? Oh, thanks for the $50, John. Okay, so a new scholarships in the AVID program.
Correct.
and also Dream Volunteers. So I would like to present the Avenue of Service Award to Rich Mozzini.
Thank you, thank you.
And here's your pin.
Here's my
You want me to
pen.
pin that
If you can, without
without hurting?
too much on my boobs.
Like to say a few words?
Well, wow. I'm surprised. I'm not going to tell you, because you know me, that I'm not going to say I'm speechless, because I'm never speechless. But I just want to say I sorry that I couldn't be at the debunking, although I did not know that I was going to receive this at the debunking. I had a family commitment for a wedding on Friday night, in fact, up in Santa Rosa. I got back on Saturday morning, and there was an email from my good friend here, Cindy Sims, that said, and she put her in, "You're the one, huh?" But you're not the only one, okay? I got 2 or 3 others, so don't feel bad that you. So she told me that in the email that I won the award, and I was, wow, I'm very, very surprised. Let me say that I feel awkward up here, and I'll tell you why. Because the last 3 years I've been the vocational director's service director, and I'm used to giving out awards, okay? We was, the employee of the month, Rotarian of the month, student of the month. I'm used to that stuff. I'm not used to being an honoree, okay? I'm really not. I do want to thank some people. I want to thank, first of all, my wife, Gail, over here. And she's been with me with Rotary for 20 years through all these projects that I get involved in. And once I get involved in, I got the passion to do it the correct way and do it right and get as much money or as much happiness to the people in our community. She's been with me. The one thing I really want to thank her for, though, is her technology assistance. From the cradle to my death, I have and will be always technologically challenged. And especially the last 3 or 4 years with scholarships, we're now doing the scholarships online with 7 or 8 different schools, different platforms. And I usually, the last couple of years, I've been leaning on my technology gurus. One of them is Curtis Chen, and one of them I hope is on there, Jim Goel. So the last couple of years, I have a problem, and I call them, and what they do is they say, "Put Gail on." I don't want to listen to your frustrations. Put Gail on. Thank you again. Everything I've accomplished in Rotary for our community could not have been accomplished without the unwavering support of you Rotarians. One more quote: the Dictionary Project, Employee of the Month, Rotary of the Month, you've always come through when I needed help to make a project succeed. Thank you very, very much. I'm honored and humbled to receive this award. Thank you.
And then you're on for scholarships.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to ask Rich Mozzini to come up to award some scholarships now.
I guarantee if you're tired of me being up here that it's going to end, because my colleague Teresa Polk will be taking over from me in another few days, and the vocational services is in good hands, and I will sign off except for probably Student of the Month and scholarships. Okay, very quickly. We've given out 8 of our 14 scholarships in the last 2 meetings. They were the community service scholarships for high school. Today, we're going to give out the 2 College of San Mateo community service scholarships. First of all, whoop, I forgot. Thank you, Nancy Gordon, for all of you guests in the room here. Nancy Gordon was our Rose Garden lady, great member here of our Rotary Club, and she left a pretty healthy endowment earmarked for scholarships only. So in the past 2 years and from here on, we've been able to expand not only the number of students receiving scholarships, but the amount that they are receiving. Thank you again, Nancy. Our first scholarship recipient today is Gabriella Goldman. She's a 2-year student at CSM and has graduated with her AA degree. She has a GPA of 3.88. She lives in Foster City. Will be attending, that's a good one. She lives in Foster City. That's not why you got it though, but it's, she'll be attending UC Davis in the fall with a psychology major and will be the first in her family to attend college, as well as being a first-generation American. The community involvement has been as a Girl Scout in troop 31284. Boy, that's a long number. As long as she can remember, as a Girl Scout, she sold cookies every year and has been part of many amazing projects. One of her projects to stand out is when she's caroling for senior citizens during holidays. From her middle and high school years at her yearly summer camps, she graduated from a camper to a helper to a leader of her own unit, helping feed the girls, entertain them, and create activities for them. In her spare time, she's been a 2-year member of the CSM women's basketball team and also works at Starbucks. Gabriella, come on, congratulations. Come on up.
Thank you so much. This is such an incredible honor. And 2 years ago, I actually wasn't even sure what I was going to do with myself because I was the graduating year of 2020 and I missed out on a prom and a graduation. And I was like, Mom, what do I do? I don't know what my profession is. I don't know where I want to go. And my high school friend got offered to go play for basketball at the College of San Mateo. And I said, you know what? I played. The worst that they could say is no. So I said, hi there. My name is Gabriella, and I am such a positive person, and I would love nothing more just to be able to give it a chance. And they took a chance upon me. And my coach is the reason why I'm standing up here today, because I was given the opportunity to not only play basketball, but to get such great educational help, educational opportunities. And she's the reason why that I'm so confident and able to say I will be an Aggie this upcoming fall. And yes, hopefully not the cows, but I heard we're getting changed, but I haven't gotten the official email yet. So for now, I'm still an Aggie. But it's so incredible to be able to come to such a welcoming lunch such as this. And I didn't even know that this existed. And I'm so happy that I do now know, because there's so much positivity in this room and I thrive on positivity. And I love to see nothing more than so many amazing people such as yourselves changing lives. And I'm just incredibly grateful that I am able to say I attended one of these meetings and I got to see firsthand what this looks like and what that process and where it begins with. So thank you so much.
We hope that you'll be a member. Introduce mom, please. Introduce mom.
Yes. So with me, I brought my beautiful, gorgeous,
Stand up.
obviously only 21-year-old mother, Zarina Goldman. She came here when she was only 10 years old with her family from Ukraine. And back then it was known as the USSR. And it was because of her family and their sacrifices that I was able to live in such a welcoming and diverse community. She and her family were so close to either settling in Israel or staying there because they didn't know what they were going to do. Because I am Jewish on my mother's side, because that's how you know if you're not Jewish on your mother's side, you're really Jewish. That's the test. But she helped me so much, and it's because of her. And because I want to make her proud because of all of her sacrifices. So Mom, this is all for you because I love you so much. I'm going to make you proud. I'm going to pay for whatever you need when I'm older and I make a lot of money.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And we'll do the photo op after you do second. Congratulations. Our second CSM Community Scholarship Award winner today is Izadora de Oliveira. She's completed 3 years at CSM with her and has her AA degree with a GPA of 3.45 and will be attending the University of San Francisco in the fall with not a nursing major, but a psychology major. Is that correct? And is the first person, will be the first person in her family to attend college, and she too lives in Foster City, but that's not why you're here. Her community involvement deals with suicide prevention. She hosted National Suicide Prevention Week on the CSM campus, helping students recognize the signs of suicide and how and where to reach out if they themselves or someone else they know is thinking about suicide. She has also provided suicide prevention workshops in the nursing program and for Hispanic Heritage Month on campus. She is dedicated and committed to providing a platform for students to have a voice and to continue to raise their awareness among students around mental health issues. Congratulations, Izadora, come on up.
Thank you so much. Like Rich said, I'm also like a little bit awkward standing up here. So I did write something out. So hi everyone, my name is Izadora de Oliveira, but you can also just call me Izzy. I work as a mental health peer educator, sometimes basketball coach, and I'm also a full-time student. I recently graduated in May and earned an associate's degree at the College of San Mateo. Next up, I'll be transferring to the University of San Francisco in the fall, which is where I will earn my bachelor's in psychology and with a minor in neuroscience. Words cannot describe how grateful I am for this donation because it takes away the burden of not being able to afford college. As a first-generation college student and as a kid that comes from immigrant background, with your donation, you've motivated me to want to pursue a private university, which can be a scary thought at first financially. I would also like for you all to know that my academic journey does not end with just a bachelor's. After USF, I plan on going to grad school and also do an accelerated program because that's honestly the end goal is to become a nurse. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the donation. And I will love to stay in touch with all of you in the future. And my mom was supposed to come today, but I'm also really thankful for my parents. Obviously, like Gabby said, like we actually immigrated from Brazil, and I'm the first person in my family to go to college, and like I would not be here without my parents. Like I owe everything to them. And unfortunately my mom's at work, but I thought I was gonna be here by myself, but I actually played basketball with Gabby at CSM, and I was like, I thought I was gonna be alone, and I was like sad, and then I saw her, she sat down next to me, and I'm like, I was actually her mentor at when I played basketball, because I played during the first year, and then I ended up leaving like halfway through like the COVID year because like I just couldn't do it because we were having Zoom practices, and that was just a mess. Like we would literally be on Zoom, and I would set my phone up at a park, and my coach would be screaming through me through my AirPods, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I decided to leave, but yeah, okay. Thank you guys so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Each of them have just received a check for $2,000. Thank you, Rotary Club. Thank you, Nancy Gordon. We're gonna have a quick photo op. Okay, quick photo op. Ladies, come on up. Gabriella, Izzy, come on up for a quick photo op. Over with this, with the presidente.
Ready? Thank you.
That's something for your speech.
Thank you. A little over.
Izzy wanted to keep the big check, but I told her it wasn't as easy to cash. Doesn't fit in the ATM. Okay, I'd like to pivot now to a very special award. We're going to award 3 honorees, but I'd like to tell a story. As many of you know, I play hockey, and on May 24th was our men's league championship week. And so the championship game was going to be in the first slot, and I was playing in the bronze medal game. So I decided to come a little bit early just to see what the end result, catch the third period of the championship game. And I got there, people were mulling around. I saw the refs in the parking lot, had no idea what was going on. Turns out that one of the players had collapsed on the ice and went into cardiac arrest, and the ambulance had already left, but there were 3 players, gentlemen, that helped out with administering CPR and getting the defibrillator out. And so, first of all, I'd like to ask Land Ormison to come up. So he is the player that collapsed, but look at him. He's looking great now. We're going to award citizenship awards to those 3, but Land wanted to say a few words. If you could introduce your wife first.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Land. I'm the guy that collapsed on the ice from cardiac arrest and was resuscitated by some of my good friends over here. And here I am standing in front of you today. This is my wife. I want to introduce my wife, Natasha. She's been a rock for me during this whole process. And I just wanted to actually say a few things about myself and about what happened. I'm 55 years old, and I have a wife and 2 kids. I got a son, 22-year-old son who just graduated college from Cal, go Bears. And I got a 13-year-old daughter. I've been playing hockey my whole life, literally since I was 5 years old. And I'm a huge fan of the sport. I coached my kid when he was growing up. I coached Curtis's kid, when Felix was growing up. And I'm still an active player. I play 3 times a week. Never could I have imagined that this would happen to me. I'm fit, I'm active. I thought I was healthy as a horse, but nonetheless, it happened. I think there's a lesson in there for all of us. And in retrospect, there were warning signs that I should have been able to pay more attention to, but I just, I didn't know how to interpret them. And so I just missed it. And this thing came out of the clear blue sky for me. And the thing is, I was incredibly lucky because if this had happened when I was alone, I probably wouldn't have survived. And I was incredibly lucky that when it happened, I was surrounded by a group of guys who, were able to rise to the occasion and had the presence of mind to take swift action. And these guys, we have, Will Porter over here, we have Evan Roberts, and I don't know if we have Boris.
He's on vacation.
Boris on vacation, but there are 3 guys, Evan, Will, and Boris. These guys, they saved my life by administering CPR and keeping me going until the paramedics arrived. So I owe them a huge debt of gratitude, and seeing my whole family owes them a huge debt of gratitude. My wife Natasha is here to pay her respects, and I'm just so happy that I can be here with her. It's funny. I remember Evan said to me after the fact. He said the only thing he remembered from his CPR training, which he'd done many years prior, was just keep going to the tune of the Bee Gees song "Staying Alive." And that's what he did, and it worked. Just incredible. Quick update. This happened 5 weeks ago. It happened at the rink just right around the corner from here, the Bruce Point rink. And I'm doing really well. Afterward, I had surgery to correct the underlying problem. I'm back to exercising. The docs say that I can go back and play hockey again in a matter of a couple of weeks, which is just incredible. I consider myself to be really, really lucky. And, a funny thing happened just the other day. I was driving in my car, listened to the radio, and sure enough, staying alive. And, it just brought a smile to my face. Made me think about Evan. Made me think about, how grateful I am to be here, how grateful I am for my family, how grateful I am for this incredible hockey community that we have in the Bay Area with people like Evan and Will and Boris and Curtis, and just many, many great people. And these guys are heroes. They weren't medical professionals. They were just guys who came out to play a game of hockey, and they were faced with a crisis situation, and they reacted in the best way possible. They say that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and in this case, what we've learned is that sometimes they come wearing ice skates. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Nice to see you here. So I'd like to ask Evan and Will to come up here. And Boris was supposed to be here, but COVID rescheduled his family vacation to this week. So I'd just like to read this to you, and then maybe you can say a few words. So this is the Rotary Club of Foster City President's Citizenship Award to Will Porter, Evan Roberts, and Boris Amchislavsky. The Rotary Club of Foster City honors Will Porter, Evan Roberts, and Boris Amchislavsky with the President's Citizenship Award for their decisive and quick actions to assist their fellow hockey player, Land Ormiston. On May 24th, 2022, Land Ormiston fell unconscious on the ice while playing in a hockey game. Although not known at the time, Land had suffered a cardiac arrest. Without hesitation, Will, Evan, and Boris administered CPR and employed the use of a defibrillator to restart the heart. Due to their quick thinking and immediate aid, Will, Evan, and Boris saved the life, and Land is expected to make a full recovery. June 29th, 2022. You want to say a few words?
Hey, everyone. I guess first and foremost, thank you for having us up here and for the award and the recognition and everything. Speaking for myself, at least, I think I'm kind of in line with one of the previous speakers where it feels a little awkward to be up front and center and receiving an award. But just looking around here and seeing the goal of this club and the community service that it provides, and really just all the help that it provides to the community, really just kind of warms my heart a little bit, knowing that there's still good people doing good out in the world, especially in modern times. So I guess. Could you introduce your wife who just had this? Yeah, my wife Farzana actually just had to step out. We have a 3-month-old baby. And baby waits for no one. So she's generous enough to take care of that while I'm up here. But hopefully she'll be able to swing back through. We'll see. Her jacket's keeping her spot. But I wanted to mention that when we were all out there and Land collapsed on the ice, I think one of the things that really impressed me most was that there was no hesitation to help from Evan or Boris or even the rest of the team. The people who may not be up here today but still played a significant role in getting the proper care to Land. Not only people calling 911, getting that ambulance on the way, even escorting the paramedics onto the ice because they were not in ice skates. So it's a little cliche, but really was a team effort. So I just want to make sure that they're also recognized and that we do really have a strong community around here. Last thing that I wanted to mention is I might be unique in that I've gone through CPR training maybe 25 times in my life. Not that I remember it. It's been 12 years since the last one. I'm a veteran of the military and it was required pretty regularly. But, first aid, similar to the fire extinguisher, is one of those things where you would rather have it and not need it, and not need it and not have it. So if you are thinking about something useful to organize in the community, maybe some community first aid, community CPR, you never know when it'll save a life, as it turns out. So maybe something to think about going forward. And I think one of the most incredible things was this went from a crisis situation for land out on the ice to a routine surgery with a cardiologist later on, right? And so the difference in severity was really just those first 10 minutes we were able to get in there and stabilize them until advanced medical care was able to show up. So please think about it. Please look into it. I think the Red Cross often does this for free. But yeah, that would be my plug for the community is get certified, get trained. Thank you.
That's my wife, Allie, over there. I don't have a lot to add. I think we'll really cover everything well. One person who deserves credit who hasn't been brought up yet is the rink owner, Hannah Hanhon. He had the foresight to know about purchasing an AAD and the willingness to spend the money. And I don't think he's legally obligated to have one. And so he deserves credit for that. And I don't know about Will, but I was only vaguely aware that they had one. And yeah, when the incident happened, he brought the AED out to Will, he brought scissors out to me and was sort of instrumental in the whole process. So he deserves a note there too. And relieved that land is recovering, and thank you for having us here today.
Get a photo over here. Randy, you want to come back up? Stand over there, thanks. We rescheduled to the next meeting.
Sorry.
Hey, congratulations. Thanks for watching. Okay, we're running a little behind. Gary, come on up. So Gary Epstein will introduce our speaker, but we may need to pause for the presentation to come up. Okay, come on up, Gary.
Wow. That might be a tough act to follow. Thank you very much. Thank you for telling your stories. I actually am very happy that our Mayor Richa is going to talk to us today. And I'm happy for the opportunity to introduce her. Richa became mayor as appointed by the city council this past December. The mayor's term is 1 year. She was first elected to the city council in November of 2018. And for pretty much everybody who's here who keeps up, yes, the mayor is appointed by the city council, from the city council. Our mayor is going to talk to us today about current Foster City issues. Prior to being elected to the council, Richa was the chair of the City of Foster City Innovation Technology Advisory Committee. Richa works full-time in corporate America, and like many Foster City residents, juggles work life, home life, and community service. This is the perspective she brings to her position. Her decisions are made based on data and facts as she strives to create a well thought out, fiscally strong, sustainable future for our city. Oh yeah, a little parenthetical thing. Richa, I think you know that I was the chair of the audit committee, City of Foster City. And as part of our duties, we reviewed the finances, including investments. We did that on a yearly basis. City of Foster City is and has been in good shape fiscally. And I know that you will keep that going. Thank you. Oh. Richa is the Senior Vice President for Zelle payments at US Bank. She has 22 years of corporate experience in digital payments and banking with Franklin Templeton, Charles Schwab, Wells Fargo, and Visa. Please give a big Rotary welcome to our Mayor, Richa Awasthi.
Let me get situated here. Can everyone hear me okay? Thank you for having me. It's such a warm feeling to be at a Rotary luncheon always. And today is no exception. So I come here and, I'm able to put things in perspective. So why do we serve? What is more important? And, the feeling of the community, and it just grounds you, this environment. There's something in the air when you all are together, and I sincerely mean it. And I take it with me, and it lasts for some time. And then I think that tells me that I should come here more often. So I'm very, very excited to be here today. I have some prepared slides that I would not read, but just to have something structured for you all to take a look at. But I will start with a few thoughts that I kind of jotted down as I was thinking about speaking with all of you. So as Gary mentioned, that I was elected in 2018, and when Charlie was terming out, and one of the best compliments I got was when Charlie said, "I'm so excited that you are taking on my seat." And that was an incredible honor, and also an invitation that I would never leave him alone. So I kept bugging him, and I'm extremely thankful to so many of you in the room who have been who've been guiding me, our mentors. And even if I'm not able to be in the room to have lunch with you, you kind of help me put things in perspective, because it can get lost. And I want to make a special mention of Rick Wyckoff, who's not here. And by the way, his birthday was in June too. June 11th was his birthday, and we share the same birthday. So my birthday was on June 11th also. Anyway, so there are three things I would mention that either were with me or I have imbibed and taken on as I serve in this role as a council member and as mayor. So first and foremost, and I've been trained well, so you can blame my mentors, focus on municipal functions. Sure, there are many causes mayors and council members can get involved in and can use the platform, and I do that. And that is very important to be able to maintain regional relationships and regional alliances. But I have always strived to keep the focus on Foster City, the core municipal functions, whether it's traffic, infrastructure, our budget, that are related to Foster City, because that's my primary role. That's who I serve as. I have learned since the beginning, and very well, that in the council, we are a team of 5. We cannot get anything done if we are not working together as a team. And that got reinforced over time. And several of you are instrumental in bringing that togetherness back to our city council. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And the third thing is focus on defining the policy. So be very cognizant of what the role is of the council member, and it is that of defining the policy. So kind of focusing on shaping the what, not so much how. Let our staff, city staff, and team members do that. So with those guiding principles, and there are many others, I always remind myself of that. And I have some prepared slides that I'm looking forward to share with you all. And Mark will help me. I can do it from here also, right? Let me try.
All right, someone got a phone call. $50. Okay, so I think you can do that, Mark, if you can help me. All right, so the previous slide you saw our vision and mission. I will not read that. You can find that readily available in our city's website. We reconfirmed our vision and mission beginning of this year in January. Getting to this mission and vision took a while, but I will just read our vision, which is creating a sustainable Foster City through smart, inclusive, and efficient actions to enhance our quality of place for current and future generations. And every word in this vision was carefully thought out and debated. And we all agreed. So it was unanimously adopted again, beginning of this year. And that kind of guides us as we look at, so the next slide, we look at our strategic priority areas. So I will very quickly go over them. So like I mentioned, the core municipal functions, so facilities and infrastructure, smart planning development in the local economy, city council operations and improved community engagement, innovation and sustainability, public safety and social equity, staff empowerment and operational excellence. So these are our strategic priority area, and in any given area, one of these pillars can weigh more. For example, last year and even now, building staff morale and staff empowerment has been top on our list. So when I took on the role of mayor in December 2021, that was top on my list. And we did a ton of work on that one. And I'm proud to say that staff is feeling more stable. Staff is their morale is better than what it was. So it has taken a beating. So that became our topmost priority. So we, as we evolve, as we get better, we focus on other areas, but these are the priority areas that we focus on. So what I'll do is very quickly discuss with you the accomplishments so far in 2022 in each of these areas. The work continues, and these are only as of, I would say, June. Another thing I would mention as we dive deeper, a little bit deeper into these accomplishments is that, as you all know, we went through staffing issues, and like every agency and every company is going through. So we are dealing with the labor shortage, the high cost of labor, the impact of the post-pandemic world. And Foster City was a little bit unique also in that we had a lot of turnover with our city manager, our leader's position. I'm very proud to say that department heads and staff stepped up to make sure that nothing is getting impacted, the services to our community. But there is an important role of a leader. And so when you look at these accomplishments, we have to kind of put in perspective that we recently have been very fortunate to hire a new city manager, Stefan Chatwin, who I invited to be here, but he had a prior commitment, so he couldn't make it. But I'm sure you will see him on July 4th. He's planning to be there, and make sure to stop by and say hi. He's a great, great addition to Foster City, and he will be at the core of what we will define next. So I'm very optimistic about this hire. So if you go to the next slide, we focus on the key strategic pillar of facilities and infrastructure, very critical. So levy project is a big initiative that was undertaken as a result of the foresight of the prior councils and our community voting for it and funding for the levy. We had several ups and downs with regards to this project, but I am able to confidently say that with my fingers crossed that the project continues to be on track with the timeline and with the budget. And the most recent development on the project was we reopened the Baffin Street Bridge, and that connected pedestrians from Foster City to Redwood Shores. And rest of the year, I think we will continue to see some milestones. And starting next year, fingers crossed, we will start to see some parts of the levee open up in a safe manner. I'm also very excited about the recreation center project. Prior councils also identified the problem and strived to start the rebuild of the project for a number of reasons, and we will not go back in the past. That project was put on hold, but in January, City Council provided staff direction to proceed with the recreation center rebuild project with a not to exceed budget of 55 million. And some of the next steps we will be taking with regards to issuing the RFP and focusing on the design and budgeting, et cetera, in the months to come. We also did the traffic relief program. There's a ton of feedback that we received from the community, and we kept morphing and evolving how we executed the pilot to a full rollout. And our public works director has been on top of it. He's been trying, along with Tracy, who's here, working with FCPD to make sure what works best. So that's facilities and infrastructure. Going to smart planning and development. So the budget. So City Council approved the budget for fiscal year 2022-2023 on June 20th, very recent. Our reserves remain healthy and within acceptable levels for our policy, our reserve policy, but we are facing a structural deficit in outer years, and we are looking at ways to generate revenue. So the structural deficit, as I mentioned, is a result of increased labor costs and some of the other challenges that we are dealing with as a result of the pandemic. So impact on hotel tax, which is TOT, and sales tax, and several other aspects. But the leading cause is because a majority of our expense is to pay for staff salaries. So the increased costs in order to maintain the same service levels is one of the main reasons for the structural deficit that we are looking at. So we are evaluating ideas on how to grow our revenue and how to minimize our expenses to be able to avoid the deficit, to be able to get out of the structural deficit. Some of the ideas on the table that we are still looking at are, potentially looking at business license tax, some of the monetization opportunities. It is extremely expensive to maintain services in Foster City. So to the extent that we can have ways to monetize, like the parks that are being used by non-Foster City residents or parking, et cetera, those are not very big amounts, but we are looking at anything and everything. Another aspect with regards to smart planning and development is the draft housing element. So our planning commission reviewed the housing element for 2023 to 31 planning period prior to the submission, and we done tremendous amount of work in identifying the places, the land that could be potential for further development. Now, that doesn't mean that city is responsible for developing the land that we have identified, but in response to the state laws and in response to having a compliant housing element, which is extremely important, council and staff has done a lot of work to have that draft ready to be submitted. There are many cities who have undergone this process, and in an attempt to not build more, have risked not having a compliant housing element. And that is the problem that as a council, we don't want to get into, because that can be very expensive for the cities. So we are proud to say that we are heading toward, fingers crossed, a compliant housing element. So a lot of work from Planning Commission and our planning department. Economic development is a nut that we have yet to crack. We have, as a council, said that as a top priority. We want a more vibrant places in Foster City. We want restaurants to do well, but we're not there yet. And pandemic has not helped us either. So we continue to try different options. And one of the recent feedback or recent guideline or suggestion we have given to the staff as part of economic development and sustainability subcommittee is to potentially consider some pilots that we can do maybe at Leo Ryan Park to kind of reactivate that area and try, perhaps it's a concert. We do have concerts in July, but something that we could do year round and supplemented by some food trucks and some temporary arrangements that could prove the hypotheses that there is a lot of demand for 5 minutes. There's a lot of demand for more vibrancy in Foster City, especially reactivating our waterways. So quickly going to the next slide, and this one is focused on community engagement. So I will very quickly touch on some of the things, some of the events that are back. We are back to being in-person meeting. We are one of the probably the first cities to be in person for better community engagement. We have citizens advisory committees. We launched a Simplicity app, and summer events are coming back. Another area I would mention is that you probably all are hearing a lot about the water quality issues and the geese issue, and we are focusing and this is very latest. We've been working to address that. Two of our beaches have been recognized as the worst beaches in California. So we have been focused on it, and there will be a lot more community engagement. You will see on that front, there's a meeting on July 18th that I encourage everyone to attend. So you can go to the next slide. I think I'm almost wrapped up. So public safety and social equity. So this one is, we did finally approved an ordinance on minimum wage. We have started working on climate action plan. So this is about protecting our environment, sustainability, and taking action where we can to make sure our future generations get the luxury of having the same environment that we have had. I think that covers that topic. So the next slide, I already talked about staff empowerment and so not this one. Okay, so public safety and social equity. Needless to say, we are incredibly inclusive and open, as reflected in many of the events that we have done. No one can say that Foster City is not inclusive or does not support diversity or is not open to ethnicities and cultures and everything. So we celebrate diversity, the Pride flag, the Holy Festival, you name it. We had a Jewish festival in Leo Ryan Park, and we will continue to come up with ideas to celebrate diversity. Public safety, I know Tracy is part of the Rotary Club. There's several accomplishments, and this slide has many metrics and data and facts on the great work FCPD is doing. So I will not go over that in detail. And I think that wraps it. So we have hired, as I mentioned, our new city manager and also our Parks and Rec director. They all will be there on July 4th, and I will be there too. So I'm looking forward to introducing you to our new city manager. So stop by, say hello to us and to our Parks and Rec director. I think that's a wrap.
You have one or two questions? Just one or two questions?
Yes, please.
We had a line that said if we were not compliant, it would be expensive. Can you give us a couple of sentences as to what you meant by that? How would it be expensive? Thank you.
Yes, so there are many examples that you can see, like there was recently an example of City of San Mateo denying a project, and that ended up, I can't remember, it's millions of dollars of lawsuit. So I would say that state, more than in the past, they are monitoring the RENA number. So this is a whole another topic that we need to discuss on. So one part is we complete a housing element, and we say that these are the zones. Either we are changing the zones, or these are the areas where if a developer comes, they can develop. We are not developing. City is not developing, but we are not coming in the way of development. And these are the designated areas that can have future housing. The other part is actually those housing units being built, and that is really not in our control. That depends on so many factors, right? Like whether economically would make sense for the developer or not. However, if we are not completing that housing element document in good faith, that is scrutinized even more. So that law has always been there, but that is scrutinized even more. So on both sides, those who are concerned with overdevelopment and housing element doesn't mean that we will go and build that. And those who are concerned with whether we are meeting the state laws or addressing the housing crisis that exists in the Bay Area, we are doing our part. There could be arguments on both sides. We could be doing more and people will say we have already done a lot. But what I'm focused on is keeping the city out of trouble. So I am, and bringing people together on both sides, on the both extremes, and to remain compliant. Like we follow so many other laws. This is one of the ones where we don't want to take a chance. There have been some thoughts around, can we fight the RENA or can we not build? So we are not building. We are simply putting together a housing element.
It's Richa, can you stay afterwards to answer a few more questions? We're unfortunately out of time, but I'd like to thank you for coming to speak to our club. I'd like to present you with a speaker's gift, which is a certificate of appreciation and a picture of one of the projects that we do every year. We take old playgrounds that will be otherwise scrapped and we refurbish them, repaint them, and we truck them up to Klamath, California, where there is the Yurok Indian tribe, and their children didn't have any playgrounds when we started. Now they have 4 or 5. So thank you again for speaking. And if you could stay a few minutes afterwards, that would be great.
Yes, and I am only a phone call or an email away. So feel free to reach out with any questions.
Oh, picture. Okay, I'm going to ask President-elect Shiraz to give us the program for next time.
I know we don't have time, so I'll make it quick. That next week, I hope you all come because next week is the installation of the new board and we have an amazing new board coming up. And the Jennifer Jones, our president, our Rotary International president, her aide is going to be coming down, Brad Howard. I don't know if you've heard him. He's a fantastic speaker and he's coming to our club. He'll be speaking here. He'll be installing the new board. So I have one more thing. This is Curtis's last meeting. And if all of you can stand up and thank him for a fantastic year. Thank you, Curtis, for your leadership from all of us. I see him working till late in the night, 9 in the night, no matter when we have a question, something is going on. This guy is working all the time. So thank you on behalf of all of us over here, Curtis, for your awesome leadership. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm usually coming back from a hockey game. That's why I'm up so late. All right, I want to thank Charlie Berniski for leading us in the pledge, Dave DeSchmidt for the thought for the day, and Steve Droz for taking the minutes. Apologies for keeping us a little late, but we are adjourned. Thank you very much for letting me serve as your president. It's been an honor and a privilege.